When it comes to the bag, the majority of people's principles and morals, they fly out the window. Everyone doing this, that. You're not leaving your job until you find the next job.
So I just dropped my app, www.ChisoLifts.com. Online personal training. You got custom meal plans, custom training plans. With the training plans, you got a video showing you how to do all your exercises. You could log in your sets, your reps, the weights you use, and literally every month I changed up your plan. In the description, you got a code BESTU20 at the moment. You can use that to get a 20% discount for life. I used to say to them straight, you're not gonna get let in. Well, yeah, so there's no point coming there. Huh? I used to work in the back.
Doesn't matter. You still
I
got
purposely
paid.
stayed in the back.
Even with those racist policies, you still got paid.
Brother, at the time it was survival of the fitness.
We're still doing events. We're still doing events.
But I'm being honest. At the time it was survival of the fitness. But after a while, once the back started straightening, I didn't need to be there. But anyway, go back to it.
There's people working right now in their workplace where their manager's racist, this person's racist, and they complain about other people not doing something. Go and speak to your boss or your manager. Go and speak to your managers.
Most people working in West End in these clubs here are mostly freshies. That's the truth.
You weren't a fresh when you was working there.
Brother, I'm still technically a freshie. Was I born here?
Stop it!
Was I born here? I'm still technically freshie. But I'm saying, most people who work there, are freshies and they ain't got no choices. Brother, most people who work there ain't got no options.
I disagree with that. Let's be realistic.
What you think the boss boys, the ones running around getting the bottles off the floor? I'm saying in general.
Which one we talking about? The security team, or we talking about?
Even some of the security team there. A lot of men. Let's be honest. A lot of men who do security are freshies usually.
What? Really? Back then, maybe back then. Not now though. Right now, English brothers, Caribbeans, English, Africans.
I'll give you an example. 95% of the men who worked in Maddox and Locks when I used to be in them clubs here, 95% of them man never had English passports. Everyone had indefinite leave when I first started there.
Okay, but that's not there.
Huh?
That's there.
No, that's how West End culture is in general. Because you know what it is? Let's say like for instance here, them clubs there, you've got the main doorman. The main doorman is always an Englishman. The main doorman is gonna figure out how can I get cheaper, affordable labor. You get me? The normal man ain't gonna take the tens and that an hour.
Generally speaking, when it's gonna affect your bag, all this Harriet Tubman stuff goes out the window. People are working in workplaces right now where the manager's racist, or they know the owner's racist. Even when it comes to the clothes we wear, I'm one of the as well. When Gucci came out with their thing about this and that, I still went and bought Gucci. I still wore Gucci. Cause he's uncle. I didn't trade away. I didn't trade in bin. I didn't trade. And that's the reality. When it comes to the bag, the majority of people's principles and morals, they fly out the window. Everyone doing this, that. You're not leaving your job until you find the next job.
Was it even champagne? Remember when Jay-Z was saying, what was it? Was it Gold Bottle, not Ace, the other one, man.
Oh, Cristal.
Yeah. I swear they were saying something about black people before. That's why them lot stay their own with the Ace of Spade and that. And I swear Jay-Z had a line about it, something in regards to drinking champagne. And I was laughing because in my head I was thinking to myself, give it a few months, man, we're going to be back on it regardless. You get me? Yeah, nothing changes.
It's just a revolving cycle. I think we forget. We're hungry for this activism at the beginning. We're all there for the full outrage at the beginning. Then after about a month or two, the next trauma comes out, and then we move on. And that's it. The next trauma comes out and we move on. And that's it.
I get thinking.
You know, but it's a good thing with Wes though. Wes is in the middle of it all, literally. Excuse the pun. He's in the middle. He can float to the left. He can float to the right. He's just in the middle, like he can go anywhere he wants. A pub could be racist, and we'd be like, "What are you doing there, Wes?" "Oh, my mum's white, mate." Just get in there with Becky and Carol. You know what I mean? And then he can maybe go to the Caribbean joint where they're called Brenda. You know, a little honky. He's like, you know, what's in me dad's black in it. You know what I mean? Like, just get a little jerky chicken and that. Like he can. You know what I mean? You know what we call people like you, Mickey Mouse. You get black and white. Sheena, get the cans. Get the cans here.
Wes goes to the shop, give it full English brekkie and throw it a couple dumplings in there, mate. Couple dumplings in there.
That's a lovely life you've got, mate. But then there's a negative side of your life, okay? Where, for instance, sometimes you might feel that you're maybe not too black. or you're maybe not too white. So for instance, there was a nice little debate,
Stand back.
and some people have had issues the other day with that girl who brought her song out, the Little Mix chick, saying that basically she was trying to basically be black. And I always say that, how do you act black or how do you act white? Okay, and my thing is that we talk about cultural appropriation, and we say that, and I say, to what extent should people be allowed to borrow from other people's cultures? So there's a music video that I watched the other day. You remember Michael Jackson's Black and White music video?
He done it properly.
He done it properly. He got different cultures in that video to emulate exactly what he wanted. But my thing is that, to what extent are people allowed to borrow from other people's cultures? And what is borrowing? And why is it that whenever we talk about black culture, usually it's the negative side that we always want to claim? That thing that Little Mix girl was doing in the video, they were claiming she was blackfishing. She had maybe, I think it was plaits or cornrows in her hair. Now, do we own that? Do we own that?
No.
Do we own? My thing is, do we own that? So, for instance, in the group I was in the other day, people were like, "Oh, they hate the fact that when white rappers come out, they blow like H, RD, and that they're saying that if a black rapper is mediocre, he has to do a lot more, or a black singer has to do a lot more to get to that place, whereas the white rapper doesn't have to do much." And I say we're in England.
Yeah.
I say we're in England. When you're looking at marketing, would you rather market to the 3% or market to the 90%?
They didn't want to say anything about that with Slim Shady.
No, but different stage. He's a good rapper. Whether he was black, white, orange, or avatar, Slim Shady is busting through. For me, when it comes, because he doesn't do our kind of music, that's why blacks don't give him sometimes that much of a praise. But if he was doing what we wanted to hear, Eminem will be seen as the GOAT. And in my opinion, I'm going to get some stick for this. Eminem's the GOAT. I'm just.
No, but Eminem's been a go for me.
No, because I'm just putting it out there, innit?
Okay,
like, if you want to cancel me from the barbecues, no problem. If you want to cancel me, but my question is, to what extent are people allowed to borrow from people's cultures? Like, did you say anything wrong with Little Mix girl, with what she done in that music video? The bad points for life thing she did.
Hear the joke. I didn't have like I said in the last thing, I didn't have a clue who the hell she was up until
when you saw the video.
Yeah.
And we gave her views, made her video viral.
And I said to people, like, this is what I even said in the last one. Last week, I said, "Rah, like, everyone's talking about the Little Mix girl, but I'm like, right, if you lot weren't talking about it so much, 90% of us in our demographic would have no clue who she is." So I said, right, I said, right now you lot have boosted her up on the chart, because I said that would have probably flopped, because the demographic she's aiming at.
Wes, did you say anything wrong with that music video? Or anything wrong with it?
Brother, I can't lie, I just don't care.
But did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay,
but it's
from
expected.
an artistic, as you're a video director,
Yeah.
okay, let's give you that proper task. As you're a video director, yeah, okay. From an artistic point of view and from a creative point of view, did you understand the outrage, or was you just like, what's everyone going mad about?
Yeah, but it's the same thing where it's always gonna happen, and it happens all the time. And I feel like the more attention we give to it, like, we're giving them what they want, because essentially for them, like, there's no bad PR for them. Like, we're like the same people complaining about it are going to watch the video, they're streaming the music, they're putting money in their pocket.
Often we attach the negative side of things to us as black. So even when I speak proper, sometimes somebody will say, "Oh, he sounds like he's white," and I'm like, I just pronounce my words. Doesn't mean that I'm sounding white, sounding black. There isn't no such thing as sounding white or black. However, there is something they call ebonics, meaning that there's something in my throat. I don't know whether it was the fufu that got stuck there, but you can kind of hear when someone could possibly be black on the phone.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. There's like a
100%.
But
there's no you can't kind of.
But I think it depends though. But look at your mate, Omega.
Yeah.
Now, as much as Omega's black, he's just as black as me and you.
Yeah. But remember, he grew up around being like less than 1% of black.
Yep. And
that's why.
When you look at his snaps and look at everything, in the weirdest way possible, he relates to us as being African, relates to us as being Nigerian. But I can guarantee you, if he came around our circle, he could probably feel out of place. Not because he's black.
No, it's not. He could probably feel out of place. He will.
I had this
conversation.
But he's no less black than us.
I had this conversation even with a girl like a few days ago. So yeah, she's from Northamptonshire, and like her whole friend circle is white. So she's like proper country, you know, them girls who they go like horse riding on the weekend, they go shooting and all of that. So she's like, yeah, she would come to my events, but blah blah blah. It's not really her scene. So the reason why she says that is because she hasn't got any black friends. Like, she doesn't know no black girls at all. So her assumption is like, oh yeah, when I come, girls will, because the way she speaks, that girls will talk to her like she's.
No, leave it.
Okay, strong man. She's like, yeah, because the way she talks and speaks, she thinks girls would talk to, like how you said, I speak properly. Like if you hear her on the phone, she doesn't sound like someone from here. So due to her circle and who she's grown up around, she doesn't feel comfortable here. Then I said to her, like, it's funny that you don't feel comfortable here, but you're always talking about how you love going back home to Zimbabwe and all of that and this, that. But I said, you're in a place over there where you're Zimbabwean by heritage, but you didn't grow up there. So how come you feel comfortable there, but you don't feel comfortable 100 miles away from your house?
I think the question is yes, but I think maybe because there's a certain thing about blackness in the UK, which unfortunately, whether you like it or not, generally speaking, because of the certain class that most of us maybe are from, there's that trauma which we've had, which some people who are not from London or from our demographic don't understand. The same way, for instance, Omega's gone through trauma. Different trauma to us. So you would think that. So even when he came that day, no disrespect, bro, but even if he came that day, if someone told me he was with a white lady, it wouldn't shock me or surprise me. It wouldn't. Even when I look at his friends, when I'm watching his Insta stories, his vast majority of his friends are white. They're all white. They're just drinking beers and whatever. Like, he's, as much as he's black like me and you, I don't know how to word it so it makes sense, but there are subcategories in black. He's not, how can I word this? I don't know, because I'm sounding, I don't know. I don't want to sound wrong, but
I kind of say the same thing.
I don't know how to explain it, but he's not our.
When I was fostered, bro, I was only black people. I was only black boy in my whole entire school. That was from primary up until secondary. That's from kindergarten to primary to secondary. And when I moved from my foster parents, I came back to live with my mum, and came to live in Brixton, and went to a secondary school that the whole majority of people were black. That was a mad change for me. It was mad. Like, I even had a situation where at lunchtime, I'm sitting down at the lunch in the cafeteria, I was sitting down where all the white people are. And I got one of the guys just come up and said, bro, took my food, brought it over to where all the black people were sitting, put it down and said, brother, you need to be here. And that threw me off. But then I deep it and I understand it. I didn't then because I was thinking, what was the problem with me sitting there?
Do you know the maddest thing is that as much as
because I was comfortable there, because that's what I was used to.
You know what? Yeah, funny you say that. Like, you see, before, like when remember I used to play rugby, innit? So when before, like I would have these little back and forth with certain man in that circle, and I didn't get it at first, and I used to think to myself like, why these men, they're never around no black girls, Then when I've seen a couple of them at events I've done, I was just like, you know what, I finally get it. So my whole way that I wasn't on them, I just eased up. I was like, you know what, like when you look at in our circle, you're like the outcasts. But
it's weird though.
It's weird. Because in our circle, they treat you like outcasts, and it's like, I don't blame them. I used to at first, but it's like, when they're trying to talk to the girls we talk to, they're looking at them like, he's an idiot.
But I think what's interesting though is that when we talk about race and class, we always say in our circle that West London girls are different to South girls. Why is that? Why do you say West girls different to South girls?
But then it's also turning around saying,
no, you know what?
And even West London guys,
they're different to us as well.
They're different to us. There's a difference between what they go through class-wise and what we go through. I don't have to explain it, but West London girls, obviously you can't generalise. But do you know what I mean?
I had this other day where a girl told me, I said, "Oh, so you said, where are you from?" And I said, "From South." She went, "Oh, it explains everything."
I know it's silly because not everyone behaves the same. The same way not all blacks behave the same. But there are.
They think down here that we're more hard-headed and we're more rough and we're more. But
more stuff happens here.
Huh?
More stuff happens.
More stuff happens here.
But that's why.
And South is massive.
Yeah. And back in the like when I used to go west all the time, I used to think, oh, these youths are soft. Like I remember, like even my first girl, I used to say to her brother, yeah, you man are soft. And you know what it is?
Do you know what we call soft though? Soft is just being normal.
It's normal, yeah.
But do you know how mad our head is?
You know what it
It's
is?
because you're traumatized. You're like, yeah, I'm a bad man, but you're just traumatized.
It's mad.
It's a Brixton arrogance. I'll tell you another thing about growing up in Brixton, yeah. You can be in Brixton, yeah, and even the good youths in Brixton, when they step out of Brixton, I think they're the hardest guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they're from Brixton.
Yeah. It's a Brixton arrogance.
But it's mad that
everyone feels untouchable when they come from Brixton.
But it's mad how we've been so traumatized with our lives, some of us, that when someone is normal, we call them soft or a pussy or. But I'm just a normal guy. I don't understand all of this rough stuff you lot are going through.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's the trauma and the stress that makes you tough, like strong, innit?
And sometimes I wonder what our lives would have been if we was raised in a different area, whether we was raised in a different family.
It'd be completely different.
Completely different.
Completely different.
If we grew up in Kent, and we were raised in Kent, we'd be like them boys from Rugby.
But you was raised where?
Croydon.
Okay, I use Wes as a prime example. Wes, to me, I don't know his background. He seems like a very clean-cut guy who hasn't gone through nothing. You seem so happy. I envy you. The way you seem so peaceful.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm unbothered, bro.
no, and that's what annoys
That's what it
me.
is.
Bro, he's struggled, bro. He's struggled, bro.
No. But what I mean though is that, like, people, there's people who've been born in Croydon who have gone in and out of prison, gone this and that, and they say we're products of our environment. I'm assuming you've not been in prison before. No. I'm assuming that you've maybe had friends who have done bad things, and maybe you've done one or two bad things. But I'm going to say you're not what we classify as a roadman. And when you say you're not a roadman, you're not. You're not interested in any of that kind of screwing guys, bopping, but why is that? Why has it not enticed you? Because you're from Croydon. Yeah. And was you raised in a house, a flat, an estate?
Or a house.
Wasn't in an estate.
I wasn't in an estate.
And I'm going to go as far as to say that the majority of gangs that you do find come from estates. Brixton's example, Summer Leighton, Mitesfield, Angeltown. They're all blocks. They're all like it's all like a perimeter where everyone's in one place, and all of them they become friends, and then that title friend has a negative connotation which is called a gang. So therefore you want to protect your plot or space. So if someone's got trouble with someone from Mitesfield and from Angeltown, as dumb as it sounds, because he's from that area of Brixton and it's called Mitesfield and I'm from Angeltown, you've not just violated me, you violated Angeltown. Which, as dumb as it sounds, because you wasn't raised in Angeltown or Mitesfield, you was just raised in Brixton.
Yeah, for example,
so you wasn't part of a gang.
Yeah, for example, like my side, people would have said, "Rah, yeah, your bit was soft," because we grew up in houses. You get me?
Yeah.
So they would have been like, "Yeah, you're part of Brixton was soft." So what you end up seeing was there was a few men who grew up in my bit, but they would go hang with other men in this block, that block, and they will be more associated with them lot. You get me? So they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm part of this crew."
But was you bad, or did you hang around the bad people?
I wasn't bad.
But so you hang around the bad people.
Yeah, most of my friends are bad beat. Yeah.
Okay, and they rubbed off. They technically rubbed off on you, in a sense, and made you do. Because I'm assuming you've done bad things with them. So you wasn't a ringleader, but you've done bad things with them.
You know what? Yeah,
I wouldn't say that.
In my circle, everyone had their own forte. So you had the Mandem who became robbers from early like school days. You had the F man, and you had the food man, and you kind of had the kind of in between guys.
Yeah.
I would never mix with robbers on their business.
Okay.
You get me? So some of the things that they knew, some of them they partly learned from me.
When I had my attempted robbery in a school bus, like after that day, I rode with a screwdriver because I was never in. I was from Fort Heath. I lived in a house, some semi-detached. I wasn't from like a block. There's blocks in Croydon and Fort Heath where there are blocks. I'm from a house. I've never been a bad man. I hang around with bad people. But when I almost got robbed on a school bus, you know, like when you guys probably wouldn't know this, but only bad man sit at the back of the school bus, and I didn't know the rules. I didn't know the rules in it, so I'm getting on the bus. It was the 250 that goes from Fort Heath to Brixton. For some reason, these guys that from Brixton, I don't know, I can't remember who they were, but I'm on the bus, and there was no seats at the front. So I've got on the bus now and I can see them looking up. I'm not knowing the rules yet. So I'm looking up, I'm seeing these guys on the bus and they're looking at me like food. I didn't realise. I'm looking at them, I maybe want to say hello to them. I'm seeing black boys, hi guys. So I've come up on the bus now and there's no seats at the front. So like a now, I didn't know the rules. I didn't know any bad man sit at the back. So I've gone to the back of the bus now, I've sat down. But within seconds, yo, you saying, man, what you got, G? And this time I got my phone on me. So back in the day, you could slide your phone down to put it on silent.
Yeah,
I remember what, I think it was Eric, I can't remember what phone it was.
It was a Nokia.
The way I quickly, yes, the way I quickly slid that thing down on silent, I said, do not vibrate, do not vibrate, do not vibrate. And after that day, I rode with a screwdriver.
Okay.
Screwdriver.
But did you sit at the back of the bus again?
Funny thing, do you know what? The funny thing is this? As dumb as it sounds, we then knew that there was certain, like for instance, when buses go by, what we'll now do, we'll now look on the bus to see who's on the top of the bus. And if it looks like there's 6-7 man who look like trouble, we just don't get on the bus.
I remember.
I mean, that was what we had to do to mitigate the situation.
When I moved from Cheam, came to live with my mum, and we moved to Brixton. No, we moved to Brixton.
Yeah.
My first day of school,
Secondary school?
Secondary school. Came in, me like an idiot, decided to bring my Game Boy with me.
Oh,
but I'm a dickhead.
Some good food, that is.
Yeah. So.
Alex the Kid. No, Game Boy was paperweight. Alex the Kid. What was Game Boy?
No, it's Tetris.
Tetris.
Tetris and Super Mario.
Okay.
So I came with my Game Boy first day of school, and that first day of school I remember that first day of school because when we finished school, a sixth former came up to me. I said, "Yeah, bro, give me that Game Boy." It was like 3 or 4 guys. I was 13 at the time. 3 or 4 guys. Now, to me, those are big guys because they were older than me, and they were taller than me. Yeah. So man tries to say, he took my Game Boy. I'm like, no, I'm not having it.
Yeah.
So I started fighting with him.
Yeah.
So that's the day when I got sliced in my face.
I was the one there.
Yeah, that's the slice I got in my face. Yeah. Now. From school.
With what?
He sliced my face with a knife. I had 40 stitches. I had 20 stitches on it.
What happened in school?
School. 20 stitches on the outside. 20 stitches in the inside of my mouth.
From school?
From school.
Fam, yeah.
And I'm going to tell my secret to you like this. I'll tell you this from now, and I have no shame on saying this, but I couldn't even walk into my mum's kitchen. I couldn't eat with a metal knife and fork. I had to eat with a plastic...
Because of the trauma?
Because of the trauma, I had to eat with a plastic knife and fork for nearly a year.